Welcome to Smart English Stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories. Building vocabulary is very important for speaking English well. When you know more words, you can talk about more things. Start by learning words that you use every day. For example, learn the names of things in your house, like table, chair, or door. Use these words in sentences to practice. You can say, I sit on the chair or the door is open. Repeat these sentences every day, and soon, these words will become easy for you to use. Another way to build your vocabulary is by reading simple English books or watching English videos. When you see or hear a new word, write it down in a notebook. Try to use this new word in your conversations. For example, if you learn the word happy, you can say, I am happy today. This will help you remember the word better. Also, try to learn phrases, not just single words. Phrases like good morning, how are you, or thank you are very useful in daily conversations. Improving pronunciation is also key to speaking English well. Good pronunciation makes it easier for others to understand you. One way to improve is by listening to how native speakers talk. Listen carefully to how they say each word and try to copy them. You can use online videos or English language apps that focus on pronunciation. These tools often let you repeat after the speaker and check if you are saying the words correctly. Another technique is to practice speaking in front of a mirror. Watch how your mouth moves when you say different words. This helps you see if you are pronouncing words correctly. You can also record yourself speaking and listen to the recording. Compare your pronunciation with that of a native speaker. This will help you identify the sounds you need to improve. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The more you practice, the better your pronunciation will become. Many people are afraid to speak English, especially in public. This fear can stop you from learning. But remember, everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. To overcome this fear, start by speaking English in safe environments. Practice with friends or family members who are supportive. You can also practice by talking to yourself at home. Say simple sentences like I am eating breakfast or I will go to the market. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Another way to build confidence is by starting small. Don't worry about speaking perfectly. Focus on getting your message across. If you don't know a word, use simple language to explain what you mean. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you can say, I need something to protect me from the rain over time. You will find that speaking English becomes easier, and your fear will slowly disappear. Understanding different English accents can be challenging, but it is important for communication. English is spoken in many countries, and each country has its own accent. To get used to different accents, listen to English speakers from different places. You can find videos or podcasts from the UK, the US, Australia, and other English-speaking countries. Pay attention to how words are pronounced differently in each accent. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. With time, your ear will get used to the different sounds. Try repeating sentences you hear to practice. For example, if you are listening to a British speaker, notice how they say water or schedule. Try to mimic their accent. This practice will help you adapt your speech to different accents, making it easier to understand and communicate with people from various backgrounds. Using idioms in conversation makes your English sound more natural and interesting. Idioms are phrases that don't mean exactly what the words say, but they are common in everyday speech. For example, it's raining cats and dogs means it's raining very heavily. Learning idioms can be fun, and you can start with the most common ones. Try to learn 1 or 2 idioms each week and use them in your conversations. When you learn a new idiom, practice it in a sentence. For example, if you learn the idiom break the ice, which means to make people feel more comfortable, you can say, "I told a joke to break the ice at the party." Using idioms in real-life conversations helps you remember them better. Soon, you will find yourself using them naturally, which will impress the people you are speaking with. Practicing with native speakers is one of the best ways to improve your English. Native speakers can help you learn how to use words and phrases correctly. If you don't know any native speakers, there are online platforms where you can find language exchange partners. These are people who want to learn your language while helping you learn English. You can talk to them through video calls or chat messages. When practicing with a native speaker, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Native speakers understand that English is not your first language, and they are usually patient and helpful. Ask them to correct you if you say something wrong. This feedback is valuable because it helps you learn and improve. Over time, you will become more comfortable speaking English, and your fluency will increase. Role-playing common situations is a great way to practice English. Think about situations you often find yourself in, like ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or making a phone call. Practice these situations in English. You can do this with a friend, or even by yourself. For example, pretend you are at a restaurant and say, "I would like to order a pizza, please." This practice helps you get used to speaking English in real-life situations. You can also write down conversations you might have in these situations. For example, if you are practicing making an appointment, write down what you would say, like, "I would like to make an appointment with the doctor." Then, practice saying it out loud. The more you practice, the more natural these conversations will feel. Role-playing helps you prepare for real-life situations, making it easier to speak English when you need to. Listening to English media is an excellent way to improve your spoken English. By listening to podcasts, audiobooks, and movies, you expose yourself to different voices, accents, and vocabulary. Choose media that you enjoy so that listening becomes a fun activity. Start with something simple, like children's stories or educational podcasts designed for English learners. As you get better, try listening to more complex materials, like news reports or movies. When you listen, pay attention to how people speak. Notice the tone, speed, and rhythm of their speech. Try repeating sentences to practice your pronunciation and intonation. For example, if you hear someone say, "I'm going to the store," repeat it in the same way they said it. Listening and repeating helps improve your speaking skills and makes you more familiar with natural English speech patterns. Technology can be a great tool for practicing speaking. There are many apps and websites that help you practice English by speaking. Some apps allow you to have conversations with virtual characters, while others connect you with real people around the world. These tools are convenient because you can use them anytime, anywhere. They also give you instant feedback, helping you improve faster. Another way to use technology is by recording yourself speaking. Many apps have a recording feature that lets you listen to your own voice. You can compare your recording with a native speaker's voice to see where you need to improve. This practice helps you become more aware of your pronunciation and speaking style. The more you use these tools, the better your spoken English will become. Understanding grammar is important for clear communication in spoken English. However, you don't need to know all the rules perfectly to speak well. Focus on the basic grammar rules that are most useful in daily conversations. For example, learn how to use simple tenses, like the present, past, and future. Practice making sentences like I eat breakfast every day. I ate breakfast yesterday, or I will eat breakfast tomorrow. Also, pay attention to word order in sentences. In English, the order usually follows the pattern of subject, verb, and object. For example, she subject plays verb the piano object. Practice making sentences with different subjects, verbs, and objects. This will help you speak more clearly and avoid common grammar mistakes. Over time, you will find that using correct grammar becomes easier and more natural. Doing daily speaking exercises is a great way to improve your fluency. One simple exercise is to talk about your day in English. Every evening, take a few minutes to describe what you did during the day. For example, you can say, "Today, I went to the market. I bought some apples and oranges." This exercise helps you practice using past tense and talking about everyday activities. Another exercise is to pick a topic and speak about it for 1 minute. For example, choose a topic like my favorite food and talk about it in English. Don't worry about making mistakes. The goal is to get used to speaking English. You can also practice by reading aloud. Pick a simple text or book and read it out loud every day. This helps you improve your pronunciation and speaking speed. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. Staying motivated while learning English is very important. Learning a new language takes time, and sometimes it can be difficult. To stay motivated, set small goals for yourself. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words each week, or to have a short conversation in English every day. Celebrate your progress, even if it's small. This will help you stay positive and keep going. Another way to stay motivated is by reminding yourself why you are learning English. Maybe you want to travel, make new friends, or get a better job. Whatever your reason, keep it in mind. You can also join a group of people who are also learning English. This way, you can support each other and share tips and ideas. Remember, it's okay to take breaks when you need to. The important thing is to keep practicing and not give up. The shadowing technique is a powerful way to improve your speaking skills. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say as quickly as possible. This technique helps you practice pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. To do this, find a short audio or video clip in English. Listen to a sentence and then immediately repeat it out loud. try to copy the speaker's tone and speed. You can start with slow and simple sentences and gradually move to faster and more complex ones. Shadowing helps you get used to speaking quickly and naturally. It also helps you improve your listening skills, as you need to pay close attention to what the speaker is saying. Do this exercise regularly, and you will see a big improvement in your fluency and pronunciation. Using visual aids can make learning English more interesting and effective. Visual aids include pictures, videos, charts, and other materials that help you understand and remember words and phrases. For example, if you are learning the names of fruits, look at pictures of apples, bananas, and oranges while saying the words. This helps you connect the word with the image, making it easier to remember. Videos are also great visual aids. Watching videos in English with subtitles can help you learn new words and see how they are used in context. For example, if you watch a cooking video, you will learn words related to food and cooking. Try to describe what you see in the video in English. This practice helps you use new vocabulary and improves your speaking skills. The more you use visual aids, the better you will remember and use English words in conversation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice when you speak. It helps convey meaning and emotion in spoken English. For example, when you ask a question, your voice usually goes up at the end. Like "Are you coming?" Understanding and using intonation correctly makes your English sound more natural and helps others understand you better. To practice intonation, listen to native speakers and pay attention to how their voices change during a conversation. Try to mimic their intonation patterns. For example, if you hear someone say, "I can't believe it," notice how their voice goes up to show surprise. Practice saying the same sentence with the same intonation. This will help you express your feelings and ideas more clearly in English. The more you practice, the more natural your intonation will become. Group discussions are a great way to practice speaking English with others. In a group, you have the chance to talk about different topics, listen to others, and learn new words. To get started, join an English-speaking group or create one with your friends. Choose a topic to discuss, like movies, books, or current events. Take turns speaking and try to use new words or phrases that you have learned. Group discussions also help you practice listening and responding to others. For example, if someone in the group says, "I like reading mystery novels," you can respond with, "Me too. What's your favorite book?" This type of interaction helps you practice speaking naturally and improves your conversational skills. The more you participate in group discussions, the more confident you will become in speaking English. Making mistakes is a natural part of learning any language, including English. It's important to understand that mistakes are not bad, they are opportunities to learn. When you make a mistake, don't feel embarrassed or discouraged. Instead, take it as a chance to improve. For example, if you say a word incorrectly and someone corrects you, try to remember the correct pronunciation and use it next time. One way to learn from mistakes is by keeping a language journal. Write down any mistakes you make while speaking or writing in English. Then, review your journal regularly and practice the correct way to say or write the words. Over time, you will notice that you are making fewer mistakes and becoming more confident in your English skills. Remember, every mistake you make brings you one step closer to mastering the language. Breaking down complex sentences into simpler ones can make it easier to speak English. Sometimes we want to express a complicated idea, but we don't know how to say it in English. Instead of trying to say everything in one long sentence, break it down into smaller parts. For example, instead of saying, "I was late because the bus didn't come on time, and then I had to walk," you can say, "I was late. The bus didn't come on time. Then I had to walk." This way, you can express your ideas clearly without worrying about making grammar mistakes. As you get better, you can start combining sentences to make them more complex. For example, you can say, "I was late because the bus didn't come on time, so I had to walk." Practicing this technique helps you feel more comfortable speaking English, even when you have a lot to say. Understanding the cultural context in language is important for effective communication. English is spoken in many different cultures, and the way people use language can vary depending on their culture. For example, in some cultures, people might be very direct when they speak, while in others, they might be more indirect. Understanding these differences can help you avoid misunderstandings and communicate more effectively. To learn about cultural differences, try watching movies or reading books from different English-speaking countries. Pay attention to how people interact with each other. For example, notice how people greet each other in the UK versus the US. You can also talk to native speakers and ask them about their culture. The more you learn about the cultural context, the better you will understand and use English in different situations. Setting realistic speaking goals is important for your progress in learning English. It's good to be ambitious, but it's also important to set goals that you can achieve. For example, if you are a beginner, don't aim to speak like a native speaker in a few months. Instead, set small, manageable goals, like learning 10 new words a week or practicing speaking for 10 minutes every day. Once you achieve a small goal, set a new one that is a bit more challenging. For example, after learning 10 new words a week, try to use those words in a conversation. Setting and achieving these goals will keep you motivated and help you see your progress over time. Remember to be patient with yourself. Learning to speak English well takes time, but with consistent practice and realistic goals, you will improve. You can use these tips and techniques to improve your spoken English every day. Practice regularly, be patient, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you speak, listen, and learn, the better you will become at speaking English. Whether you are just starting or have been learning for a while, these strategies will help you reach your goal of speaking English fluently and confidently.